Chris. I'm back in this week. Woo! So I'm going to introduce my 5 people today. And we got Tim.
You may call me Rasputin.
Miss Bev.
Vanessa.
Miss Vanessa. Toby. And Mr. Scott. And I'm Chris. So we're going to go ahead and begin. So imagine you're walking through a lush forest and you got a breeze blowing through your hair. It's nice and calm. You hear the nice calm waters going through. You got a nice little stream and there's massive huge trees going around you, and you got blue water, and you got the sun peeking down through the leaves, and it's nice and warm. And then completely throw that away, because this is what the petrified forest actually looks like. So this is what the petrified national forest in Arizona looks like. According to the 97 Encyclopedia of Dinosaurs, Lester Ward of the U.S. Geological Survey protected the region in 1899, and it was subsequently designated a national monument in 1906, and that was by Eisenhower, and then expanded and made into a national park in 1962. Huh? You had a question? Oh, gotcha. And then within the park there are several areas of interest, and today I'll go over 5 of them. And I guess let's go ahead and start our drive through the park. First, we have the Painted Desert, which, as you can see, has different layers, and it was made during the Triassic period. And as it's risen and fallen, it's been able to come up, so you can see the different periods of time that have spread out through it. It's a vast amount of badlands, but it's beautiful and great to look at. And if there's a nice place like a Painted Desert that's beautiful to look at, you got to have somewhere to sit there and view it. So we're going to move on over to the Painted Desert Inn, which is not too far up the road. And you find the Painted Desert Inn, and it was made in the early 20s by Herbert Lohr, and it's beautiful and is completely made of petrified wood because they had a lot of it to work with. It was remodeled in the 40s, and it's remodeled to look like the 40s version. That's the original furniture, and it's just a beautiful place to sit and relax. It no longer accepts guests, but it is still the Painted Desert Inn, and you can visit it and explore it. Next, we move on to Route 66. It's the only national park with Route 66 running through it. This is what you see when you get to that point, and then you have these old telephone poles that mark where the route went through, and that's all that's left of it. Now we have the big highways like you see back there that people take. And the route, while it's not there anymore, once was the host for many people driving through and enjoying the scenery, and it was the connector between 2 sides of the country. Next, we're going to run over to Newspaper Rock, take a step back in time, and we see the petroglyphs, and we find a ton of these all over these different rocks that span for about a period of 2,000 years, where people have just come up and drawn these different things. And now, today, it's preserved. You can no longer go and mark your own person up there, but this is what we have. And it's truly inspiring and just amazing to see the history located on the rock. And then next, the point of this park, the main point, is the petrified forest, which we get to, and it's quite stunning as well. We see the agate bridge here, which is a tree and now has a post underneath it, but it used to, for thousands of years, has lasted just as a tree spanning these 2 canyons. You can no longer walk on it, but once upon a time it would have been cool. We find in Funk and Wagner's New World Encyclopedia about the history of these trees. We find that they grew in the Triassic period, and then this whole region was marshland and killed by natural processes, so they weren't cut down, and they were buried by sediment and penetrated by waters rich in silica, which is just rock and quartz. And gradually the wood fibers were replaced by the silica and other minerals, and the logs were converted into stone, which is now we get our petrified wood. So the wood is not cut, it just breaks that way over time. And so basically the point of this presentation is just to say how much is in the Petrified Forest National Park, and it's definitely worth going to see. So thank you guys for your time, and that's all I got for you.